Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But
You
yeah,
won.
nah.
During a live sit-down that quickly went viral on social media, Terence Crawford was asked the ultimate legacy question, the one no elite fighter can avoid. If you face Floyd Mayweather Jr. at his absolute peak, what would happen? Bud didn't hesitate. He leaned forward, smiled, and made a bold statement. He said he would handle Floyd even more convincingly than he handled Errol Spence Jr. From that moment, the boxing world erupted. Podcast buzz, social media debates spiraled, and sports shows couldn't stop analyzing the claim. The obvious follow-up question soon emerged. Has Crawford officially entered the all-time great conversation? After defeating Canelo Alvarez, becoming an undisputed champion across 3 weight divisions, and remaining unbeaten through 42 professional fights, this doesn't sound like empty bravado. It sounds like confidence built on achievement. And the most remarkable part? There's a legitimate argument that he might actually be right.
So he was pound for pound. Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody. I'm gonna always say me.
You too.
Okay.
Come on.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. built his legend on defensive mastery, razor-sharp precision, and impeccable timing. Terence Crawford, by contrast, has built his reign on risk, aggression, and complete control. He doesn't just outscore opponents, he breaks them down. From Sean Porter to Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez, those who have stepped into the ring with Bud have often left exposed and diminished. So when Crawford said he would defeat Floyd even more convincingly than he defeated Spence, it wasn't simple trash talk. It reflected his entire mentality toward the sport. Mayweather fought to protect and preserve what he had already achieved. Crawford fights to redefine the limits of greatness. That contrast highlights the real difference between them. Floyd represented calculation. Every matchup was carefully selected. Perfect timing, the right opponent, the ideal circumstances. Some call it elite strategy. Others, for years, have used a far less flattering term: cherry picking.
Situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, that guy won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight, but knew what had just...
Even Max Kellerman once summed it up clearly. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has a resume filled with big names, but one many see as carefully curated. In contrast, Terence Crawford may have a shorter list of opponents, yet it's viewed as raw, uncompromising, and built around taking on the toughest challenges available.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference.
That contrast resonates deeply with fans, and it sits at the heart of this entire debate. Floyd Mayweather Jr. mastered dominance through control, controlling distance, controlling opponents, and even controlling the timing of each fight. Terence Crawford operates from a completely different mindset. He isn't focused on carefully managing outcomes. He's driven by the desire to take over.
Better out
Interview
of
5.
Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger, He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Just look at how Terence Crawford went straight after Errol Spence Jr. For years, the narrative suggested the fight will remain a fantasy, buried under boxing politics and stalled negotiations. Crawford didn't sit back waiting for perfect financial terms or ideal conditions. He pushed for the matchup, stepped into the ring, and systematically broke Spence down round by round. Then came the move many labeled reckless, challenging Canelo Alvarez 2 weight classes above. Critics called it career suicide, arguing that Bud was too small and overmatched. But once the fight began, the narrative shifted. Crawford handled the power, neutralized the size difference, and dictated the pace across all 12 rounds from start to finish.
Your reaction to Terence, what he did, that's another crazy thing, right?
No, that's not crazy. No, I say it's not crazy because I predicted. I said Canelo was going to get old in the ring that night. No disrespect to Crawford. He did a good. Crawford could have stopped him. He could have. Me being a coach and watching how the fight was going on, he could have stopped him. And I know he's saying it in his mind, but he was being humble of Canelo. He was being humble, and it was a great fight, and it was good talk for the boxing world. And that's what it's all about, to entertain, to get us something to look at. We've been entertained like this for years, for centuries, of gladiators and stuff, going in the ring, representing their fans.
6. That's not selective matchmaking. That's walking straight into fire to prove you can't be burned. And this is where the debate truly intensifies. Many longtime boxing loyalists, especially those who grew up during Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s era, are finding it difficult to accept what's unfolding. Because Terence Crawford isn't just winning fights. He's redefining what greatness looks like, right in front of the sport's eyes.
Get a lot of
interviews
too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. But I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
7. Fighters and trainers from different generations have openly said it themselves. Shane Mosley, Andre Ward, and even Calvin Ford have all acknowledged the same thing. Terence Crawford is different. His undefeated record isn't built on avoiding dangerous opponents. It exists because he consistently runs toward the toughest challenges available.
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15, easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know. But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo, definitely gave him.
That's why when Terence Crawford said he could defeat Floyd Mayweather Jr. even more convincingly than he defeated Errol Spence Jr., it didn't come across as simple arrogance. It was a statement he believes is supported by evidence inside the ring.
Before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course.
9. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was undeniably a defensive mastermind, but Terence Crawford is often described as a complete package. He can switch stances effortlessly, counter with precision, apply constant pressure, control distance, and adjust in real time better than anyone currently competing. Mayweather dominated through strict discipline and calculated execution. Crawford dominates through versatility and adaptability. And this is where the debate becomes even more intriguing. After that explosive interview went viral, the boxing world reacted immediately. Some analysts rushed to defend Floyd, arguing that no one could rival his ring IQ and command of fight, or saying that both men were simply champions of different eras. Yet others, including a few of Floyd's former opponents, appear to agree with Bud, quietly acknowledging that Crawford's skill set might present problems even for a prime Mayweather.
I think he can go there now and be in his absolute prime. He'll be tight at 54 tomorrow. People think that when you move up in weight, all of a sudden it's easy. He's massive. He will 100% go to 168 at some point. So right there, you've got a 4-division championship. But I don't want him just to be a 4-division champion. I want him to be undisputed in those, because I think he's the natural progressor to Terence Crawford. I think he's of the same kind of ability as Terence Crawford. And what Crawford's done is amazing, because he was undisputed in 3 weight classes.
Yeah, you got to prove it in a ring.
Of course you have. It's very well me saying it. But you've got to prove it in a ring. But you've also, people know in boxing. So everyone's always known how good Crawford was. But it took him a long time to get the opportunities to prove it. We've got to make sure that we're not 36, 37, 38 when we're getting those opportunities. Because if Boots can get it at 29, 30, he's going to be around 34, 35. He lives a clean life. Do you know what I mean? I think this guy, I truly believe, I think he could be one of the all-time greats.
10. And that's what makes this debate so compelling. Floyd Mayweather Jr. retired with an undefeated record, while Terence Crawford is carving out his legacy as a 3-time undisputed champion. So here's the big question. Who is truly the greater fighter in their prime? Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford? Who would come out on top inside the ring? The defensive mastermind or the relentless adaptive force? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Fight Feel for more in-depth boxing breakdowns. See you in the next one.